everyone, welcome back. I'm Eric. Today I'm going to talk about the 1988 film The Blob. Have a DVD here, part of this 4-pack. I think it's with The Seventh Sign, Fright Night, and Christine. So, not bad. So this was a remake of the 1958 film that starred Steve McQueen. This film was written and directed by Chuck Russell. Chuck Russell had directed Nightmare on Elm Street 3 the year before, which is probably the best sequel in the Elm Street series. And I should also mention Frank Darabont worked on the screenplay with Russell on this film. So the 50s film it's kind of a goofy 50s film. And this version, it's a little more cynical, a lot more gore, of course, than you'd expect. And but follows pretty much the same story, although we get a few different twists and turns in there. In the original film, the Blob comes from outer space. In this one, of course, it turns out the Blob is the result of the government trying or working out biological weapons, and the Blob in this film, it looks like just a big piece of bubble gum that just devours people. It has tentacles coming out as well, so there's a little bit of a Lovecraft element to the Blob. Let's see, the film starred a lot of familiar faces in this cast. So there's Kevin Dillon has a lead role, kind of in the Steve McQueen role of the rebel teenager who must lead the way against the Blob. Shawnee Smith is in here. Jeffrey DeMoon plays the sheriff. He would show up in a lot of Darabont films. So, yeah, a fairly decent late 80s cast. So, the film itself, I felt there was a big Stephen King influence on this. And I think it's no surprise Frank Darabont worked on this film, who probably would become the best, one of the best interpreters of Stephen King. Of course, he would do Shawshank Redemption, The Green Mile, and The Mist, which is maybe the most frightening Stephen King adaptation. So I mean, you have a small town setting, and you have all these very Stephen King with all the various caricatures of people in the town, with the cops, with the pharmacists, characters, teachers, everyday people. Very Stephen King in the way it's set up. And I think it's a perfectly entertaining film. I think it moves along nice. It gives you what you expect from a film like this. It has gore. There's some cynicism. There's a humor. There's definitely some tongue-in-cheek running throughout this version of the Blob. I think, so like I said, a lot of highlights in terms of the gore in the film, but that's really all I have to say about this 1988 remake of the Blob. I think it's gained a cult following through the years. It didn't do so well at the box office, but with the people involved, it's definitely worth checking out if you're a fan of sci-fi horror from the 1980s. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on the Blob. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you later.